Good morning and welcome to the very last day for 2025, as well where Breakfast Extra is concerned. My name is Mazino Appeal and I'm very cheery this morning and I'm hoping that you would be too. Now, as the curtains are drawing closed for the year in just a few days, this is usually the season of small joys, big plans, and the national sport of pretending January is not coming. But it is. The air is lighter, the roads are louder, and for once, we allow ourselves to believe that next year will be better. It's a Nigerian thing. Now, to the serious business. Every single year is full of noise, but only a few people produced direction. And we're going to take the next few minutes to reel out the names or list of names that have made 2025 what it is. Defining moments, and these awards go to these people. In 2025, Nigeria was shaped by individuals who did more than dominate headlines. They quietly changed how power works. Some did it on purpose, others, well, they kind of like revealed the system by crashing into it. Either way, the country will still feel their impact long after this year is gone. And at the center of it all was President Bola Tinubu. By 2025, his presidency had moved past reform promises into full control mode. Power became firmer, more confident, and less apologetic. The intervention in Rivers State was the loudest signal yet. It told governors, institutions, and political players that federal authority now reserves the right to step in when instability threatens national interest. Now, you may agree or disagree, whether you like it or not, but a clear line was drawn. Nigeria is entering 2026 with a presidency that governs from the center and expects compliance, not negotiation. And just beneath that power, and sometimes shaping it, was Nyesom Wike. You can't say 2025 without mentioning his name in the same breath. In 2025, Wike was not just a minister, he was a political instrument. A Rivers crisis, or rather the Rivers crisis, did not start with federal action. It grew from Wike's steady grip on structure, on loyalists, and also on the outcomes. His real importance is what he represents, a politician who no longer needs to hold state office to control state politics. He showed that closeness to power can now matter more than an election. And many politicians will study that model closely in 2026, and you know that they will. And then came the governors who defected. They did not share one name, but together they became one of the strongest political forces of the year. Their movement reshaped party politics without even a single vote. By choosing to align instead of oppose, they weakened choice and they strengthened, guess what? Survival politics. The lesson is clear. Ideology is optional, access is everything, and that shift will guide political thinking for years to come, even past 2027. And in the economy, one man forced Nigeria to face a hard truth. Aliko Dangote. He did not pass a bill or hold an office, yet his clash with oil regulators tested the strength of the state more than any official reform could. And when institutions shake under private pressure, it raises questions no budget speech can answer. Who exactly controls whom? Where does business power stop and government authority begin? Nigeria is still struggling with these questions as it moves into 2026, and I bet you it's going to be a couple of months before we are able to get a grip on that. Inside the National Assembly, power wore a different face. Under Godswill Akpabio, the Senate chose control over confrontation. In a year of strong execution action and growing security concerns, the Senate preferred order to friction. Dissent was handled quickly and also clearly. And this was not by chance. It showed a legislature that now sees itself more as a stabilizer than a challenger. That attitude will shape laws and also debates as we pass on into 2026. And then there was Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Who do you think I was going to mention next after Akpabio? She did not change the policy, she changed how people see power. Through her story, Nigerians watched how the system reacts when challenged from inside, especially when the challenge is loud, and when it's steady, and when it's female. Her experience showed the gap between winning an election and having real influence. The message is simple. Getting into the room is one thing. Being allowed to speak is another. So, with all these names, together, they are the people who define 2025. And not because they were saints or villains, that's not what we're looking at, but because they changed the rules. They showed us where power lives, how it moves, and what it tolerates. Nigeria enters 2026 more centralized, more cautious, more aligned, and more aware of its cracks. And the future, for better or for worse, carries their fingerprint, whether you like it or not. So as we step into the new year, we do so with hope, with caution, and with a stubborn Nigerian belief that tomorrow must surely be better than today. So let us say a small prayer. God, please give us leaders with wisdom, citizens with patience, fuel without drama. And may PHCN please finally decide to love us in 2026. That's not going to happen. God is still working on that one. But in any case, Happy New Year in advance. May moments that define next year be kinder than the ones we have left behind. Amen. Welcome to Breakfast Extra. My name is Nyesom Wike. And of course, I know you were expecting to see Judith TB here give her own year-end monologue, but unfortunately, she couldn't be here, and she loved yesterday's one so much she asked me to do it. But who's going to be doing the show with me today? None other than Inam in the studio here with me. Inam, good morning and welcome on Breakfast Extra once again. You're now a big part of the family. Hope you're enjoying it.
Good morning, Wazino. Thank you so much for having me. Very happy to be here today.
It's our pleasure. You better get comfortable because 2026, I'm thinking I'm going to be seeing plenty of you here. Perhaps. In any case, everybody, welcome. Let's get the show started.